County. I know we're not Kerrville. I know we're not San Angelo or San Antonio. But hell, we're human beings. Help us.
Now, we all feel compassion for what's happening in Texas, right? We all feel that. However, isn't this you?
Step up on your video this morning.
Just couldn't help out the
But I'm going to have to do that. We're not going to help out anybody. Y'all been living on food stamps, EBT, Section 8 housing your entire freaking life.
That's all.
And isn't this also you?
Are you feeling nervous? Are you having fun? It's almost over. It's just begun.
And what about this?
What you gonna do, crybaby?
With alligator
I want Alcatraz lunch if I want to. And what you gonna do?
You see, this is just the hypocrisy of MAGA Trump supporters. You want compassion for yourselves, but you have no compassion for anybody else. And I've seen quite a few right-wing MAGA supporters saying, how dare you make this issue political? How dare you say that this is what you voted for? I've seen tons of them. So let's just clear something up. First of all, we're not saying that we are happy that this happened to anybody. We're not saying that, but we are pointing out the fact that you did vote for this, that you supported it. You just didn't support it when it happens directly to you.
A mother Monday going inside to say bye to her 4 kids.
She came and kissed the kids and that was it. That's the last time I saw her.
A proud President Trump supporting family in Diamond Bar.
Election time was here. I had a full 3-4 flags out.
Even while their mom faces immigration questions. Has your opinion changed on this?
That's a good question. Somewhat it has. Just because I'm going through it. I was very selfish before. But what I see right now is, okay, there's a reason for it.
Arthur Sahakian's wife, Arpaneh, was born in Iran and moved to the United States when she was 3 as a refugee.
She cashed a check, I believe it was less than $200, and this is all where it started.
Then, about 15 years ago, her green card was revoked over a conviction related to theft.
It's all misdemeanor stuff.
Arthur says they've been going through the legal process towards regaining citizenship with check-ins every 6 months or so.
She just went in April, and they said, okay, you're fine, have a good day. We'll see you back in September or October.
Any regrets with your vote?
None. Still supporting him.
While her family continues showing support for President Trump, hoping their mom comes home soon.
Trump is not trying to do anything bad. We understand what he's doing, and he wants the best for the country.
To the numerous people who are telling me it's too late to regret my vote for Donald Trump, too late to be woke, my response to that is shame on you. Shame on you for discouraging other people to come forward and take accountability for their mistake.
I'm going to try to have a little bit of grace with this one because I can see that you're trying. The first thing you need to understand is that simply because you regret your vote does not give you automatic forgiveness. I saw in some of your videos that you said you're taking accountability, and making a video saying you regret is part of that. But then there has to be some follow through. There has to be some action after. The changed behavior has to come after the apology. Now, I didn't go through all your videos, but I didn't actually see an apology video. I just saw a video where you say you regret your vote. I also saw a video of yours that said that you were wondering why it had to get so bad for you guys to wake up. And it's because you chose to ignore the signs. You did not use empathy when you were voting. You heard him say he's going to grab women by the you-know-what. You heard him call immigrants horrible names and LGBTQ people horrible names, and that didn't bother you. So what's necessary is self-reflection, probably volunteering at some Democratic office so that you can fix what you did, and then educating other people. Come on this app like you are now and say, I regret my vote because of this. Educate people why he convinced you and why you're woken up now and what you're doing about it now. Don't come on here and complain that people are mad at you because you deserve that anger.
Let me make something very clear. The reason a lot of people don't have empathy for the I Left MAGA crowd is because y'all are still trying to rewrite the story. And guess what? We're not buying it. You want people to believe you voted for cheaper groceries, better jobs, tax breaks. No, you didn't vote for policies. You voted for a feeling. And let me say the part people dance around. You weren't tricked. You agreed. You agreed with the tone. You agreed with the direction. You agreed until it started affecting you. And that's the part people don't want to say out loud, because now it's, he lied. We didn't know. We were misled. No, people told you over and over again what this was. Not quietly, not subtly, but out loud and in your face. And every time you dismissed it. Things like, he's not serious, he's just talking, or it won't actually happen. So let me give you another line you might not like. You didn't leave MAGA. MAGA stopped working for you. That's why this feels different now. Not because something new was revealed, but because now it's uncomfortable. Now it's hitting closer to home, and now you're feeling it. And suddenly, you want grace, you want understanding, you want people to separate you from it. But that's not how this works. You don't get to help build something, defend it, excuse it, normalize it, and then step away from it like it had nothing to do with you the second it stops benefiting you. That's not growth. That's convenience. Real growth sounds like, I saw it, I ignored it, but I chose it anyway. Until that level of honesty shows up, people are going to keep looking at you sideways, because this was never just about one man. It was about what people were willing to stand next to, as long as they thought it wouldn't cost them anything.
What happens when the policies you passionately supported begin affecting your own community? For years, political debates were about them, but now some voters say the consequences have become deeply personal. And that has raised a fierce argument online about accountability, empathy, and whether it's fair to say we warned you. Let's watch more clips, then we come back to talk about it.
There are white people going viral right now for their regret over voting for Donald Trump. And I put that word into heavy quotation marks because I genuinely question if they even know what the word regret means. One woman in particular got on TikTok crying a whole theatrical production about how people are not greeting her with open arms, how they're being mean to her in her comment section. Lady, are you fucking for real? Somehow you are the victim, not the millions of people harmed by the very system that you voted to prop up not once, not twice, but 3 fucking times. Not the immigrants who lost their family members to deportation or concentration camps. Not the communities of color who have been terrorized by the very policies that you voted to enable. You're the victim because people were mean to you in your comment section. And this tells me everything I need to know about your regret. You're not sorry, you're uncomfortable, and you're confusing the two. You claim that you're doing the work, yet at the first sign that that work becomes difficult, you make videos crying to garner sympathy for yourself. So the emotional labor falls on everyone else again.
So I had an interesting conversation yesterday that I want to talk to you about. I was telling a person that early on in the whole MAGA world, I was sort of able to have empathy for those people who vote MAGA, because I figured that they were just people who had never had a good leader in their life. They had never had somebody at the top of the food chain who was able to lead a large, diverse group and take care of everybody's needs. That they figured that their only shot at being protected was to have a leader who was really cutthroat, who was willing to cheat, who was willing to play dirty. And I assume that that's because those are the only kinds of leaders that they've ever had, and that they've never assumed that their leader could get ahead and take care of everyone based on merit and empathy and a knowledge of how people tick. So I always felt like, you know what, if I ever ran into a MAGA, I could certainly talk to them, and I could certainly make a connection with them, and I could certainly disprove this whole idea that liberals are these awful people who run around getting abortions and trying to make everybody turn trans. But you know what? That has now changed. That has really changed. I feel like the longer this goes on, the longer MAGA has completely lost sight of any sort of humanity that's going to work in the long run. And unfortunately, I don't really think that the kind of good leader that we used to have is going to get us out of this problem. For instance, I don't think going high works anymore. I think, unfortunately, we have to show the Schneedles that we can go low and match their energy and blow them out of the water by their own game.
After watching these reactions, one thing is clear. Political decisions don't stay in Washington. They eventually reach our neighborhoods, our workplaces, our hospitals, our grocery stores, and our families. That's why elections matters. Some Americans believe people deserve compassion no matter how they voted, arguing that hardship shouldn't be met with celebration. Others believe accountability matters just as much, especially if they feel the warnings about potential consequences were ignored before election day. The truth is, democracy works best when voters stay informed, examine the long-term effect of policies, and hold every elected officials accountable, not just the ones they oppose. No political party gets everything right, and no administration escapes criticism when policies fail to deliver on expectation. At the end of the day, every election carries consequences that affect supporters, opponents, and even people who didn't vote at all. So perhaps the bigger question isn't who was right or wrong, it's whether Americans can learn from these experiences before the next election, rather than after the consequences arrive. So what do you think? Should people respond with empathy when political decisions affect those who supported them? Or is accountability the most important lesson? Share your thoughts in the comment respectfully, and before you go, do well to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next.